Two Jack Bros. Two Jack Bros.
We're back. Welcome back to Two Jack Bros. We are here with Shawn Gardini, none other than
What up, bros?
chilling.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, glad you're here.
Me too.
Yeah.
This is a relaxing environment to go to come into after such awful traffic.
I mean, we're
good.
We're better than
saying-
traffic.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
way better than traffic.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was just saying to Ansley that that's the only time I get like mad or raise my voice or anything is when I'm in my car by myself.
Are
and
you a
I'll just-
honker? Do you honk at people?
Sort of. Well, I mess with
Was that
people
some
a lot.
secret? Are you a hunky code shit? What is that? What kind of question is that? What is happening right now?
I'm kind of a menace on the road. Like, I don't really honk or anything, but I've been in multiple situations. Like one time a guy was throwing coins at me because I was just like riding his ass so hard through my town, and he was like throwing coins out his window. And it was hitting my. And then another time, this grown man tried to fight me.
You're leaving out a lot, right? Because
Yeah.
in New Jersey there are constant little tolls and stuff that you need coins to be
True.
able to throw in.
True.
Yeah.
And coins are so valuable in New Jersey.
Yeah,
Like,
this is the
if
only
you're
place where
throwing
it's still
if you're
valuable.
so angry that you're throwing coins from your car
Yeah.
out of your window at a person, that is
Yeah, he worked hard for those coins.
Yeah,
and he's
you know
just
what I mean?
using them to.
Did he start with one, or is it like a whole?
I think it was like a
handful?
handful because I was riding his ass for so long because we were in like a 40 and he was going like 30, so I was just on his ass. And then he started going slower when I was on his ass, which is a move I also pull. So
Yeah.
I was kind of like pissed about that. Like, this is my move and you're hitting me with it. So I started. I did honk. I remember I was playing like a tune with my horn and like flashing my lights with the beat of the horn.
yeah.
And then he's throwing coins at
See,
me.
I told you he was leaving some shit out.
Yeah. There's
Right?
a lot of that.
Yeah, I was being a real
He was
dickhead.
enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love making people mad
Yeah,
on the road.
what was the beat you were doing?
I forget it.
Come on, what hip hop?
No, it wasn't a hip hop.
Was it the
was
rock?
kind of
Dun,
like.
dun, 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 dun,
it-
dun,
I
like a
forget.
little
It was
Rocky
like
music.
bep,
Mhm.
bep, bep. I forget. I'd be lying if I made one up.
Yeah.
It was the heat of the moment. And then another guy tried to beat me up once. Like, he followed me around, and this wasn't even my fault. Like,
He was out of coins.
yeah.
This is his last resort.
Yeah.
You must now convince us how this is not your fault.
Yeah, I'm
No,
curious.
this one was. Oh, maybe I don't know. So he was coming, and then I turned left in front of him because he was going. He was turning right into where I was turning left. So I was like, all right, this guy will be nice and let me turn left in front of him. And he was way back, but when he saw me turning left, he sped up, and we almost clashed like in the middle of the turn. And then I got in front of him, and then he started like riding my ass a lot. And I was like, all right, I'm right by my house, so I'm gonna let this guy go. And then he didn't go. I pulled over, and then he pulled in front of me and like trapped me in and started like banging on my window and like yelling at me. And I just laughed. That's also my
Okay,
move
but
when
what
people are
beat
mad.
were you beeping on your horn?
wasn't
tell us
beeping
the
this time.
details. Like,
I wasn't
what are you
beeping this
leaving
time.
out? Come on, don't make
No.
drag
This
it
was
out
just
of
me cutting him off, and then we almost clashed. And then he was riding my ass, and then I was like, I'm not dealing with this. So I pulled over. I was like, go around, do this. I'm not.
So
in the
you
mood
almost
today.
clashed, and you were able to see each other in that moment.
Yeah,
Like,
and
face
he's
to
screaming,
face.
and I'm
See what
laughing.
I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
I always laugh at people when they yell at me.
Yeah.
I point and I like laugh like a Simpsons character.
You did nothing.
nothing at all.
So this
Completely
guy he
innocent.
had like a scar on his face, like a Mets starter jacket. He was like 50. He told me he was like 50 something because he was like, "You're a punk kid. You don't know how to fucking drive. Who fucking taught you manners?" Stuff like that.
He was
Okay.
banging with his fist on the car.
Yeah. My window was cracked, so he was just like right there, and I'm just still.
And what did you
maniacally.
say to
I'm
him?
not saying anything. I'm
You
just
only
laughing and
laughed
telling
what?
him he looks really stupid right now.
Nothing.
Wait a second.
Nothing.
Wait, are you laughing at him with the like such a strong vibe of you look really stupid in your laugh, or are you saying those words?
It's like I'm kind of scared in a way, so I'm like laughing harder than I regularly would.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to make sure that he knows that I'm laughing at how stupid he's being. So I'm
Yeah.
like maniacally laughing at this guy and like pointing at his face, being like, "Do you understand how stupid you look right now?
Yeah. Wait, so you said those words?
You must be like really stupid." I just kept saying, and I talk like this the whole time
You
too.
did say words. Oh my god.
Well, this was after we almost got into the collision, because then it was on, and then so I was like, so he thought he blocked me in, and he was yelling at me, and I was like, wait, can you repeat that? And then when he went to repeat it, I just like skirted away like through.
Oh my god.
So
There
I
were
just drove away really
so
fast,
many
and
details.
he hopped into his car, and started following me. And we're in
not
my
over.
neighborhood now.
Yeah.
No. We're
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
neighborhood now.
Because
And he's following
remember
me.
he was tailing him.
Yeah.
And he was just going home, remember? And he was going to let him go by because he was close to home.
Yeah, I didn't want him to like catch me at my house.
so
Yeah,
let's
you don't
hear
want to
the-
bring that.
Because I've
message
followed
home.
guys
Yeah.
home before too.
Let's hear this. Oh my God.
That's another thing.
You knew you were
I
being
don't
followed.
do this anymore.
You followed people home enough to know that you knew you were being followed.
Yeah, sometimes I'll do
You
it just
baited
to
him to your
bother
house.
people.
You baited this man to your house.
No, so that's the thing. Like I baited him around the neighborhood. Like I was like putting on my right blinker and turning left and just like going in circles. And I eventually got to a cul-de-sac, and this is where it climaxed. So I got to a cul-de-sac.
Oh, he boxed you in.
No, I did like one circle around the cul-de-sac, and he followed me around the cul-de-sac, and I did like another circle, and he just kept following me in circles around this cul-de-sac, and then eventually boxed me in again and started screaming at me and telling me that I'm a punk and that he should teach me a lesson. And I was like,
How embarrassing for that man to fucking
True.
Looney Tunes with you around that cul-de-sac more
that
than
was my-
once
that
before
was my
boxing you
point.
in.
That was
You know
my
what I
point. Like he followed me for a certain amount of time, and I was like, this guy is very stupid.
Yeah.
And then and I was also like 18 at the time, and he's like a grown man.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, this is Shawn Gardini.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we were
This is who
podcasting.
Shawn Gardini is.
I'm sorry.
Perfect,
That's not good
perfect.
But
pod.
how did you get away this time? Did you trick him
So
again? I
this
feel like
time-
it was like a Bugs Bunny
No,
trick.
true,
this time.
yeah. I was
He
a
dressed
road
up like a
runner.
woman and
Yeah.
was just like, hey,
Yeah.
big boy.
Yeah, I painted a thing on the wall and
Yeah.
drove into it. Yeah, so I dropped the anvil on his head and ran away. No. So it got to a point where I was like, all right, man, could we just like go home? And I still laughed at him a little bit, but then after a while I was like, do you need me to say I'm sorry? Is that what you need to like go on with your day? Like, do you need me to apologize? Because I will, but I don't think I did anything wrong. But
Did
if
he
you
say
need
yes?
me to apologize, and then at that point he was just like, oh, fuck you, and then stormed off and drove away. He came to his senses, I think, finally.
All right.
I can understand how that'd be the most frustrating thing in the world, though, now looking back at it, me talking at someone the way I talk, being like, oh, are you having a bad day? Just like a grown man. And he's like, I have 5 kids. You're a piece of shit. I hope none of my kids end up like you. And I'm like, dude, all I did was kind of cut you off. I didn't really do anything that bad. Well, I guess I did antagonize him for a good 15 minutes. He probably had a long day at work, but I think I did too.
I think you guys had a long day in that 15 minutes.
True.
The two of you together.
Yeah.
It sounded like a long day. That was insane.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of, well, not anymore, actually. I'm more calm now, but I used to antagonize people a little bit more on the road.
All right, so I think we're going to hear something about a lot of your antagonizing in this podcast. This is like,
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm
so
thinking
you
of all
see
these
you
stories
see
now.
immediately why I want him on here.
Why?
Yeah, do you know how this podcast works? Do you know what we do?
No,
here? Okay.
not really. I know you guys were just both jacked as hell.
Yeah, that's part of it.
That's the only
That's
part,
part
I
of
know.
it. Yeah, you have to fight us in between
Oh,
this and the
please
Patreon.
no. Please no. I remember Lemaire fought here once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's undefeated here. Yeah, he won 2 fights in my house.
What was the second one? I know he fought Naeem.
Ostrov and Naeem.
He fought Ostrov
Yeah.
too. Oh.
Yeah. So basically, Sean, what we do here is we take you, the guest, through the process of enlightenment, through a series
nice.
of questions. Everybody gets the same questions on this podcast.
Oh, nice.
And then, so us, Ainsley and I and the listeners, we get to learn everything we get to learn about humanity and higher consciousness through laughing at
this
your
is
life.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
like this. Yeah.
Right? We're going to have a good time. So the first question we always start off with on the podcast is, what situation or experience in your life has given you the most information?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe I don't like this. It's gonna take a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is it's fun to watch comedians reconcile with what they signed up to here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they don't already know.
I try not to think as much as possible about anything. But the first thing that came to my head was wrestling, and maybe that's because I know you guys like grappling. But
It's
I did
okay.
that for like
Listen,
12
own
years.
your little grappling, dude.
Yeah, I
Don't
guess
try to
so.
put that off on us.
Well, no,
You
no,
love
no.
grappling. You talk
I
about
used
it
to,
often.
yeah. I used
Yeah.
to do it. Well, that's all I for like 12 years was wrestle. So I like that. My coaches and stuff taught me a lot of nice lessons that I feel like about work ethic and things like that I feel like were important. But also I had a lot of dickhead coaches too. But I feel like those moments are very important to go through.
Yeah.
Like just shit. I was just feeling so shitty for a long time.
Like while you had dickhead coaches, you mean?
Yeah, I had well, he wasn't a dickhead coach. He was just a hard ass, you know? And I
Yeah.
feel like hard asses are important to deal with. Because, you know, there's a lot of pussies.
It is. So is that what you feel like you've gotten from dealing with a hard ass, not being a pussy?
Yeah, I try not to be a pussy as much as possible. I still am, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just pushing through things you don't want to do. That was an important lesson I got from that. Like cutting weight and fucking dealing with hard asses.
Yeah. And like being raped.
Yeah.
Sorry. That was
Not
unnecessary.
particularly, but in a way, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
And, you know, just hard practices. You know, going through hard shit is good for your brain, I think, especially at a young age. Now
How
I
old
don't
were you
really
when
do.
you started?
It's probably like younger than 10, I think.
Yeah.
Because my dad wrestled in college and coached and stuff, so I was like, I don't even know why. I don't really remember that much. I was like with all the little kids running around, like not learning anything for like until I was in middle school. I was just like living for those games after practice. Like, what are those games you play? Like, where you put your sock in the back of your shorts and they try to get that or whatever.
Yeah.
Like those kinds of. We played another game too. I can't remember. You had to bear crawl around and stuff. That's all. I would just go to the rec center a couple times a week and just roll around with my boys. That's the best. Or like when I was young, I was a junior Falcon, and then I did in middle school. That was fun.
That's pretty sick.
In high school, it was probably the funnest, but also the hardest.
Yeah.
And then I stopped after that because I was weak.
Okay. So if you had to distill the information that you got from that experience, it would mostly surround work ethic?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Like,
Looking
are there like what situations outside of a work ethic do you find yourself like man, that I'm glad I wrestled?
Interesting. I guess like confidence and stuff. You get a little more confident when you know how to like handle yourself.
Yeah, like laughing at 50-year-old crazy men in the cul-de-sac.
True, yeah. Yeah, you probably could have double legged that guy if I wanted to.
Like, did you have that mapped out, like in case that got physical? Did you have a go-to? What is your go-to takedown?
No, I have. Back in the day, it was double leg, but maybe ankle pick too, because I was pretty long for a 106-pounder. But I wouldn't be able to ankle pick a grown man that has like hilarious. 70 pounds on me.
To be like a 50-year-old man and get ankle picked in a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, imagine like collar tie and throw him over his own ankle.
That's hilarious. All right, man.
That would hurt. So yes, I would say work ethic. I guess I don't know. I feel gay whenever I talk about any of this stuff.
This podcast is gay.
Nah, I wouldn't say so.
It's slightly gay.
No. I think it's better. I was starting to realize it's more
it's
not to call things
gay.
Not to call things gay. Like things could just be good and normal. I don't have to be. Nothing has to be gay or bad.
Yeah, but like the gay
yourself.
in this situation isn't bad though. It's like it's gay. It's a little gay.
Yeah, I guess. I just hate talking about myself. Feels vain.
Yeah, but this is who you're going to be talking about today.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to do it every once in a while, I guess.
Yeah. So basically what we're going to do is go through the process of opening up your chakras from the bottom up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I never
little
even thought
gay.
about my chakra.
You're
gonna bottom out my chakra.
Yeah, I mean, the first chakra is the root chakra located in the anus.
Really?
Yeah. So we're gonna start with opening up your butthole and move our way up.
Yeah, I never thought about chakras before. I've been doing a lot of mushrooms lately, though. I've been trying to kill my ego.
Yeah? Man, welcome to Two Jack Bros. That's what
I know. That's what I think is good.
So how did you learn to overcome fear?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not really scared that much anymore. I was a very scared child, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think like a time I've overcome it. Normally when I'm scared, I just don't do stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that with stand-up and stuff, I'm not really scared anymore.
What was the transition between being a scared kid and being not scared now? I mean, there's.
I wonder.
What was that estuary?
I'm not sure. What's estuary? Like the changing point?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like where
like
fresh water and salt water meet. And
I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. When I learned to deal, I don't know. Because I was a terrified kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder. That's a good question. Sorry, maybe I won't have answers to all of them.
Yeah.
But
what kind of things were you scared of when you were a kid?
Pretty much everything.
Like the
Fucking
dark
ghouls,
and like
the dark, to being alone.
You wouldn't do scary movies.
No,
Like,
oh my god. And now like I couldn't care less about any of that stuff, which is weird. Maybe it's just becoming a man.
Well,
And,
I
you
don't
know,
think that's fair to say.
the
It's kind of
lightest.
I'm terrified of scary movies.
Really?
But I was a G
Oh, I
as a
am
kid,
too.
so fuck you, dude.
Really? You're the opposite of me?
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know then. You know, everybody's different, but yeah, I guess I don't seek out scary movies. Like I want to be comfortable at all times, and being scared, if I'm scared, I'm not comfortable. So they'll still get me if they're like actually scary, I bet.
Yeah.
But I'm not like I remember we watched, it was like me and a bunch of my friends and a bunch of like the girls in our grade watched one of the Paranormal Activities. And it was like a harrowing experience for me. Like I had to sit there and pretend like I wasn't frightened because I obviously had a crush on all of the girls.
Yeah.
And I had to, dude, I was like shuddering in this like movie theater that this girl had in her basement. And we watched Paranormal Activity. Maybe that was the moment where I was like, I can do anything.
That sounds like
I
it
can do
would be the
anything.
moment for
Yeah.
me. It's like man, because like you want to eliminate as many obstacles between you and fingering chicks as possible. Especially
Exactly.
in
I
that
have
age,
plenty already.
You know,
Oh
right?
my god, at that age,
You could not have paranormal activity in between you and pussy. That's insane.
absolutely not. I was like,
that is something I can handle.
I'll die.
Yeah,
I was ready, and I did sleep for like a week.
yeah.
I was so scared, like walking around my house, even like getting dropped off. And I remember the walk to my like garage. I was like looking around and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was very skittish. I would have a lot of nightmares that would send me. Like I would have a lot of nightmares as a
Reoccurring?
kid. Yeah, that I remember. I remember there was always one where I was falling down a slide, or going down a slide,
Like a
and there
spiral
were,
slide.
yeah, and but it never ended. And there were kids behind me, like two like gnome-looking things, like
Yeah.
chasing me, and I was like, they cannot get a hold of me. And the whole time they were just like trying to grab. I used to have that one all the
Were
time.
they also sliding?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Well, they were kind of like. I remember them like floating and just like
Yeah.
getting me. They're
Crazy
after me.
dream.
That is a crazy dream.
Yeah, I used to have a lot of scary dreams as
Yeah.
a kid. I used to have scary dreams of like creatures and monsters like coming out of the woods behind my house,
Man.
where I still live.
Yeah. So you had a vivid imagination as a kid, in and out of dreams.
Yeah. Oh, I was a crazy kid too. Like
Yeah.
I was always like dancing and singing. I was very loud.
Yeah.
I remember we went to a string of weddings when I was a kid, and that was like the best time of my life. I must have been like younger than 10 again, and I was like in a little tux. And I always used to do that thing where you gel your hair up in the front, and I would just dance the night away, like at
Yeah.
all of them. And then everyone thought it was funny because I was a kid. And then I remember getting older, and I was like, wait, why doesn't everyone laugh at me as much as they used to when I was little?
This is how much scary movies terrify me in my adult years. When you said I was 10 in a tux, I was like, oh my god. You know, like a 10-year-old in a tux
True,
is
that
creepy.
is scary.
You know? It's
Yeah,
like
that's kind of like what was coming down at the slide after me.
little guys. I think that you almost left that with a closed anal chakra, but you opened it right at the last second
Wait, what do you mean?
by finding your overcoming of fear, by being able to talk that out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
almost left that chakra on the table.
True. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to dig deep on this one, guys.
Yeah. We'll help you. We've been
Nice.
doing this for a while. I think we got a rhythm.
I think so.
Yeah. It's but that's a root chakra opened up. How does that feel?
It feels good.
Yeah. I mean, because it doesn't seem like that's something you've ever talked about.
Yeah, I think about it a lot though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So
nice.
this
So
next.
my ass is blown out.
Yeah, we blew it out. You did that. You found the questions to kind of fist that one open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good at that.
You're like yeah.
Oh,
duck
I
finger,
saw a
fist.
freaking lady the other day in New York, and she was like, I used to fist my ex-boyfriend, and I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
He
That
ain't
just
afraid
reminded me of that.
anything.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Yeah, true. His
fearless.
chakra is so blown out. Yeah, that was shocking to me. That was the last time I've been scared. When that lady told me that she used to fist her boyfriend, I was
Yeah.
like, you can do that, dude?
That's alarming as a
Yeah.
guy
I
when
know, can you
it's like
imagine?
that can't be an option.
My question was, I was like, you fisted a man?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, he enjoyed it. And I was like, All
I don't
right.
think that should be an option for either sex.
No.
Yeah, it seems like a bit
That's where we
aggressive.
went wrong as a society, I think.
True.
When fisting became normalized.
True. Fisting is bad.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this
what chakra are we going after next?
We're going right up to the next chakra. This is your where would that be located?
Pelvis.
Your pelvic chakra. This so this segment
I
is
always
called.
have pain in my pelvic
Oh,
chakra from
man.
eating hot dogs. And
That's what you might think it's from eating hot dogs. It might be from a closed chakra. We might cure your fucking pelvic
dog
pain.
gut. I got hot dog gut. That's what I've been saying lately.
Yeah.
I was kept up all night the other night from hot dog gut.
Yeah, you and our son.
Yeah.
Our son is a
Yeah.
hot dog maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I have little kid palate for sure.
So this next segment is called My Bad, right? And this is where you get to give an apology to any person, place, or thing that may need an apology from you. They're not going to hear it, but the whole purpose of this is to get that negative energy out of you and get your shit back to neutral.
Oh, nice. Well, I have a lot. First, there's multiple men that I've accosted on the road. I'm sorry to you. The only thing I can think of is those ladies that I talked about on Tim and Mike's podcast, and they all listened to the podcast and got really mad at me for it. And I'm sorry to you as well, even though I've already apologized to all of you.
Yeah.
That made me feel like such a dickhead, dude. Like I was talking like about sexual encounters on a podcast. I didn't expect anybody to listen to it, and then they all listened to it, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
The one girl texted me between the Patreon and the regular episode. Like she was watching it live, and I got hit with like you're a piece of shit, fuck you, in between the Patreon and the regular app.
And if you're listening to
So I'm
this,
sorry
he's
to
talking
you.
about
They're
daddy.
probably listening. They listen to everything,
Yeah,
I found out.
Yeah. They need to know.
Everybody
They're
listens to
following you
everything.
around. Yeah. So dad me.
I don't think she's listening anymore, though. She probably hates me.
Yeah.
There's two that hate me. One's still my friend. I got her tacos. She forgave me. She's
Okay.
the coolest.
Yeah.
She was always the coolest, so.
Now the other two definitely won't forgive you.
Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting it anyways. Well, see, that's what I always do on podcasts.
Yeah.
I always talk bad about people.
It's fun. I mean, you get it in a rhythm.
Nah, it's
you know?
not fun.
Well,
Well, it is fun, but it's
fun
not
to be
good.
honest. It's fun to be honest about your life, right?
True.
And unfortunately, within
That's
that
what everybody
honesty
wants
about
to
your
hear.
life, there's like casualties,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah, for
there,
sure.
there are other people involved.
Yeah, I forget about that. I forget
Yeah.
about that. There's other people listening. But also the other people involved, like I never put their names out there, so it's all on them that they care. Like it's not like anyone else is gonna be like, everyone knows that I did it, but nobody knows that they did it.
Yeah, it's like nobody even knows who the other people are,
Of course not. Nobody knows who I am.
right? It's insane how
Sorry.
it's a lot of times I think that stuff is kind of out of insecurity. Like I tend to not make fun of people that I don't feel like can handle it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
So
me too.
if it gets back to them, they know it's coming from a good place, and they can handle it.
Yeah,
They're not
they're
gonna
not
take
be
it offensive.
wimps about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just takes a lot to make me upset. So maybe that's why I talk so like I don't care what anybody says about me.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you can call a chick a slut on a podcast. Why not?
I didn't even call him I don't even want to talk about it.
Just kidding.
I'm so sorry to all of you out there who I've hurt in the past.
Yeah. Well, that was easier than a lot of my bads.
Yeah. Ready to apologize.
Yeah, you had that
Good.
right. You had that locked and loaded.
Oh yeah, dude. I apologize like for everything. Even stuff in Houston, some guy like shouldered me, and I was like, I'm sorry. Some guy
Yeah.
bumped into me, and I'll be like, I'm sorry.
Maybe that
And
pelvis
he said,
chakra is
it's
too
alright,
open.
little bro.
Yeah. We have to calibrate it.
I might have to get a
It's like a
tune
little
up on my shock.
yeah. Let's readdress that chakra after we do the rest of them and see if it's still the same.
True.
All right.
Damn, how many chakras do we have?
7 conventional, but there are, it depends on how deep you get into mysticism, but
Yeah.
we're going with the 7 conventional ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. 7's a lucky number. That was my number in soccer.
Nice.
Just saying.
I thought he was gonna say wrestling.
Yeah, that's my wrestling
That's
number.
not wrestling though.
Yeah, I'm a singlet.
So, Shawn, how did you what method do you use to get past disappointment? Like, how do you not dwell in disappointment?
Interesting. I just keep busy. Like I just try to. I don't really get disappointed that much. I guess I definitely do, but
I mean, don't argue with yourself, John. Like,
I'm trying to think, because I can't remember. I'm trying to think. Usually, disappointment for me comes from like. Well, I guess I was disappointed in myself when I talked about the pussy on the podcast.
Sounds like a fairy tale title
yeah,
or something.
pussy on the podcast.
Yeah. You can never put the pussy on a podcast. I found that out the hard way, but that I just kind of like. I'm pretty good at turning off everything, and just like I'm Irish, so like I feel like they always say Irish people are good at just stuffing things down, I guess, into their chakras. And that's usually what I do.
Seal them up.
That's usually what I do. I just turn my brain off and just try to work on something if I'm sad or disappointed.
Yeah. Like other than that, do you have do you have a wrestling disappointment?
Oh, so many, dude. I wasn't that good. So like I remember I lost this one match where it was like if I won the team won, if I lost the team lost. I lost by like a point.
Oh man.
And dude, I like cried so much. It was so bad.
Did you not make a show, but did you cry in front of your team?
I went to like the locker room in like a dark corner and just sat there and cried. Like one of my coaches helped me. I had one coach named Zach Meralda. Shout out to Zach Meralda. He is the fucking man, dude. He probably would love this podcast. He loves chakras and stuff.
Yeah.
He'd always teach me about what did he used to say? The proving grounds.
Yeah.
He'd always like talk about the proving grounds. And I kind of forget what he would say, but I bet I still have it. He had like this mantra that he wrote down and gave to me because I was a fucking head case, dude.
Yeah.
Like I would like win. I was all right, but I would get like in my head and lose a lot, get nervous. So he would like always try to help me with that stuff. And he also loves Twin Peaks. And now we're in a Twin Peaks group chat. We talk about Twin Peaks all the time.
When you would get in your head, what was it a common thing that would get in your head and mess you up?
I don't know. See, that was the thing. Like I went to a sports psychologist once and it never helped.
Like how old were you when you went to a sports psychologist?
Dude, I was like 17 or 16 in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was weird.
Like,
they tried to put me under and it didn't work at the one.
It's like question number 1. Are you getting pussy?
True. That was probably a big issue at
How
the
much
time.
do you want it?
Oh my God. That's probably all I was thinking about.
That's what, like, if you're a sports psychologist for a high school kid.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Those are the
dude,
number
it
2
crazy.
problems.
The guy was like a wrestler too, so we would
Yeah.
mainly just practice, but he also did that on the side.
Yeah.
He was cool. The Zanettis. Shout out to the Zanettis.
Hell yeah.
I forget what they're called, but yeah, I don't know. I went to them like a few times, but it never really stuck. So I just kind of like, I would just overthink. Overthinking's always been a problem for me. So
Yeah.
if it's like a big match, I would overthink and not do as well as I could. And I don't know. I think I've gotten better at it by just doing what I said and just shutting off, and just know that I need to do what I need to know what I need to do and know that I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
And that's probably something I could have benefited from then because I would just think so much about matches back then. And
Yeah.
now with like stand-up, I think about it a lot. And whenever I have like shows that I care about, I just don't think. I just try to like shut off and not think about like what I have to do or anything. And that helps me. I don't know. I've been I don't know what it is.
Are
really.
you a very like you prepare for things? Like do you
Sort of. I do a lot of thinking about things before I have to do them.
Yeah.
So I'm prepared for most things that I have to do, I guess. But no, not. I'm more of like it's hard to explain. Like I don't know. I used to record all of my sets, and I don't do that anymore because I feel like that was making me think too much. Just like the idea of something recording. So now, whenever I do stand up, I just like. Don't think. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I just don't think at all.
You're like Schrodinger's cat. Like you can't, like if you're recording, you're recording, so you can't you can't perform as if you're not being recorded.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kinda.
I think. Well, that's in my head a little bit. Like I had to get a tape recently, and I never had a tape before, so I had to get one, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be because I haven't recorded myself in like over a year.
Mm-hmm.
Even like audio, I used to do that because I thought you were supposed to, but I was like. Nah, this sucks. And whenever I don't record and I just like walk up and like have everything in my head that I know I need to do, it usually goes better. So, yeah, I don't know. I forgot what we were talking about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
I
all
got
right.
a
No,
tangent.
speak it out, man. That's what we're here for. We're here to let you fucking speak it out, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But I totally forgot what we were talking about. Overthinking is like a big problem of mine. So lately I try not to think at all.
Okay, and that's been working out for you, you feel like?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think so. I've been doing all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are you learning about that process then? Like you used to overthink, you're not overthinking now. And if you had to give advice to somebody in that regard, what would you say to them?
In that regard, I don't know. I mean, everybody's different. I have so many friends that like write all their shit and stuff and like think a lot. But for me, it's like a matter of being present, I think.
Okay.
So if I like overthink prior, I know I'm not going to be present. I know I'm not going to be like, I don't know. This is all stand up though. It's less of like the only thing I really do is stand up. It's the only thing I like kind of care about. So
let me ask you this question: when you were wrestling, or just any time before stand up, how often would you be in the zone?
Oh, not often.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really felt like it because I was always thinking a lot. And that was actually a similar issue to I used to not sleep at all too, which is something I think I talked about on podcasts before. But like up until I was like 15, I wasn't sleeping. Like I was sleeping like 3 hours a night. And I'd just like wake up and like walk around because I was like, I would lay down and be like, I have to go to sleep or else I'm going to be tired in the morning right now. And then that thought would just continue for like hours.
Man.
And I would just think myself into like, and they'd do like sleep studies on me and stuff. And it's like, all right, now sleep with like all these wires
like
attached to your head. Yeah, like twice.
In the bed?
Yeah,
Really?
and I couldn't sleep then either, obviously, because I was like, I can't even sleep in my bed.
Yeah.
And now you like have all this glue and wires on my head, and I'm in a hospital bed. And they're like, now go to sleep. I slept for like 2 hours, and they were like, we couldn't come up with any results. So my parents were really pissed about that because I'm sure it was expensive as hell. But they also were like, this kid needs to sleep. Like, he's fucking driving us crazy. Because I would just go up and be like, guys, I can't sleep.
You'd go wake up your parents?
Yeah, and they would get pissed. Yeah.
That is, I mean, because
so they're saints.
Our kids come into our bed still. Like almost every night.
Oh, dude, I did that for a while.
Yeah.
Probably until, I don't know, too old. Probably like 8 or 9, 10 maybe.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't sleep. And then I could only sleep. I would sleep like a dog at the end of their bed. And that's the only time I would like get nice sleep.
That was when
I
our
got
son.
old, I was embarrassed. Like when I was like 11, turning like teenager, I would get embarrassed. So like I would just not sleep and watch TV and stuff.
Yeah, our son, he tried that at one point because our girls are younger than him. So when they were sleeping in our bed, they were sleeping up with us, and he was supposed to be in his own bed, but then a couple times he was trying to still come in with all of us in our bed.
That's crazy.
Right?
You're like a Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
With all the family in the bed eating like soup or whatever.
we eat a lot of soup. That's what like we'll wake up, eat soup, snooze. Snooze button. So yeah, he tried to sleep at the foot of the bed a couple times, and he was like, "This isn't.
Yeah,
like I can't do this."
Yeah. I had to stop too, and I just suffered until I started smoking weed, and then that helped. And that's pretty much what I do now to sleep. But also I don't have to anymore, which is nice. I could sleep normal, and I'm not scared of things. It's a big change from when I was a kid.
Thank you, weed.
Yeah, true. Sometimes I get scared when I'm on weed.
Yeah. All right. So, what did you call that? An open chakra right there?
I think we're there.
That was a chakra in the gut. How do you feel? How did your gut feel?
My gut feels better.
Yeah.
I did have a chicken parm though before this, so.
All right, that happens. People sometimes have chicken parm before 2 Jack Bros. I've heard of it. It's not the first time I've heard of it.
I totally forgot what I was talking about. I feel like I just derailed it.
No, don't worry, dude. The podcast.
Do you think they're gonna get mad at me?
No, don't even worry about that, man.
I'm worried about that.
Every episode takes on the personality of the comedian guest.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So this is your episode.
Oh, what a thrill.
Shawn Gardini, what have you learned from grief?
Oh, grief. I'm not sure. I experienced most of my grief when I was like really young. Last time I experienced grief was when my grandpa died, I guess. I can't remember how old I was when that happened. I was older though. I was in college, I believe.
Oh wow.
Maybe high school.
Curious to how I thought you were going to be much young because I had a sleeping problem when I was a kid too, and it started when my grandpa died.
Really?
Yeah, I was really. He was the closest male figure in my life.
Oh, right.
And he lived right behind us, and I would go visit him on the way to school, and I saw him dead.
Yeah, that fucked you up.
And I fucking freaked out and went to school.
Damn.
Yeah, it was terrifying.
That's crazy.
It was a terrifying experience.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then you couldn't sleep.
Yeah, I struggled to sleep after that.
Yeah,
I mean, because
that makes sense.
well, I was too young to understand that he was dead at the time.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything that I could have done about it. I don't know. I think he might have died at the hospital, but like what I saw, he just looked so different and weird and strange, and he wasn't really responsive. He wasn't responsive at all, and I freaked out because I would stop. On my way to school, I would stop there.
How old were you? Do you remember?
I was in
grade school or
I was in elementary school. I think it was first grade. It might have been first grade.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, I was really young, and it was it was just a creepy experience.
I bet. I remember seeing dead people when I was young at funerals, and I was like, what the hell? I mean, they look plastic when they're sitting there in like the funeral thing.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw anybody die. I think that was always my parents, and then they'd come home with sad news whenever a grandparent died. I still have my grandma, though. She's the best.
Yeah.
But my grandpa was really cool. And what did I learn from grief? I don't know.
Like, how did you move past it, or how did you get through it? I mean, like, how are you now able to enjoy? Because it's you seem to speak about your grandpa with reverence.
Oh yeah,
right?
he was
like
the man.
not like bawling about it.
No,
right?
everybody's the best.
Yeah. So how did you? Yeah.
I don't know. I remember seeing my dad upset. That made me the most upset.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing all my his kids, and I was like, that's the worst part. Like how they're feeling. But in terms of me, I always remember like feeling bad for not crying at funerals when I was a kid because I didn't really understand.
Mm-hmm.
But then it would hit me a few times. Like, I remember I was probably like 13 when my dad's mom died and my mom's dad died. And that was weird, I remember, because I was like fixating on playing video games, fixated on like playing my DS in the weird room, but also like really sad at certain points.
Yeah.
Like I remember bawling with my cousins. But I don't know, I haven't had to handle grief in a while. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Grief is a hard one.
It is. It is when you, because you said your grandpa died when you were like 17.
I think I was like a teen, yeah.
So when you noticed
like a high school, almost college maybe.
When you noticed your dad being upset, your dad, right?
Oh yeah, because he took care of him like every day at that point.
Were you helpful to him?
Yeah, in a way, and not as much, but we would hang all the time.
Yeah, I mean, like through his grieving process, like when he was.
For my dad, I hope so. My dad's a pretty hard-nosed guy himself. He's like a police officer. He retired like last year, and he doesn't really. I don't know if I saw him cry. I think the only time I don't think he cried at the funeral. I remember my uncle cried like a baby, but my dad didn't cry. But I do remember he cried when he retired. That's the only time I saw my dad cry. He just loved being a cop.
Yeah, his boys, man. I'm so missed my
he was
boys.
just absolutely hammered at the bar at his party, and he was just bawling. And that was kind of intense, actually, because I remember recognizing that was the first time I'd seen him cry. But I'd like to think I was helpful to my dad, just by being there, sort of.
Yeah.
And we both loved. My grandpa was the man, dude. He was insane. His name was Robert, and his wife's name was Roberta, and they met in a rodeo. They both rode horses in a rodeo.
Yeah.
And he like loved cowboy shit. Like he had like murals of like cowboy shit.
I was
in his
gonna say
apartment.
this sounds like a lyric from a country song.
Yeah, well he's like
Rob and Roberta at a rodeo.
yeah, true. True.
That's like,
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. I remember. It's hard to remember.
Was he a Pennsylvanian cowboy, or where did he come from?
He's from New Jersey,
Jersey cowboy.
South
Jersey
River.
cowboy.
Jersey
Yeah.
has cowboys. You
But
better
I'm
watch
not
your
sure
toe.
where he was a cowboy. He could have been a
Yeah.
cowboy elsewhere. He never really talked about it that much.
I remember I went to a rodeo.
Well, and he would always like, he'd spin a yarn, and you never really knew what was real and what wasn't real at a certain point. Because when he got old, he was like crazy as hell.
Yeah. So you looked up to this guy then?
Oh yeah, he's
Oh,
the
yeah.
best. He's the guy who taught me how to like hold doors for people and stuff like that.
That was a perfect lead into this next chakra.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because and that's your heart chakra, and I think that's open, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's it seems
Nice.
because if anything, it just seems like you found a way to value the people rather than grieve over them, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, try to. I mean, family. I love my family so
Yeah,
much.
it sounds like
I
it.
feel like I talk about them too much.
No, it's not possible.
Yeah.
Family's the best.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Family's
Yeah.
the best.
I can't get over how sweet my family is.
Yeah. It's pretty sick. I mean, I talk about my family all the time, but it's because they're fucking insane, but I love them.
Yeah, same.
I
Dude.
love my family.
Yeah, my family's nuts.
Yeah, absolutely.
What
Absolutely.
what brothers and sisters do you have?
I have a younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's cool too. She's way smarter than me. She's
We
about to
never
be
were
an
like,
accountant.
dude, Shawn, you're so smart. What are you
True,
talking about?
true, but like she puts me to shame. She's about to finish college, and she's gonna be an accountant. She like got a job already. She could be making so much money. It's crazy.
It's pretty
Nice.
sick.
Yeah, that's sweet. I'm so happy about that too.
Yeah. Shout out, sis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the best.
All right,
I
so
don't like to talk about her though.
that's fair.
Nobody better fucking bother her.
Yeah. Dude,
I'll fucking kill you so hard, dude.
don't talk about women.
Yeah, don't talk about women.
That's my
at
motto.
all.
So,
Yeah, that should be my new motto, dude.
yeah, dude, that's how I feel about talking about my daughters on stage. It's like I bring them up and I'm like, but I don't like to talk about women. So this next chakra this is a fun one. This is located in your throat.
Oh, that's probably a bad
Yeah.
chakra for
This
me.
is about truth and honesty. So, Shawn Gardini, what is your favorite lie you've ever told? And
I tell
you
a
get
lot of
extra
lies,
karmic points if you give a currently in rotation lie.
Oh. Let me think. It's hard to think about it. I don't think I tell that many lies.
Well,
I
a
tell
lot
little
is
sneaky
many.
lies.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I tell like lies that I think are funny. But let's see. My best lie.
It doesn't have to be your best. It's just the one that you like the most. The one that tickles you the most would be, I guess, more apt.
Let's see. I don't know. I can't think of one. I
I
think
know,
I'm too honest.
It's like you're too proud. You're like you want the best lie. You're like I spun
yeah,
some
true.
yards. I
don't
gotta
wanna
give
put
the
a
best
bad
one.
lie out there. I don't know. I can't think of a good lie. I do tell a lot of lies, but I'll always be like, "Nah, just kidding. I fucking got you."
Okay, so what is your favorite variety of lie?
God damn. My favorite variety of lie. I don't know. I like starting fake rumors. Beezer's turned me on to that recently. Beezer at Houston was like trying to tell lies about he's been trying to start rumors a lot lately.
Yeah.
He was trying to tell everybody that I was mixed for a while.
Wait,
He's telling everybody that I was a
mixed with-
red bone. He's like, yeah, Gardini's dad is black and his mom is white. And I was like, why are you telling people this? He's like, I don't know, it's fucking funny.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
And then what was he doing in Houston? He's trying to start multiple rumors. I forget. I think he said somebody like had diarrhea in the green room or something like that. Those are good lies, but those aren't my lies. Those are Beezer's
Yeah.
lies.
So you got any good rumors floating around?
No, I haven't started any recently. Let me think. Oh. We always say that my friend can't swim. And
Is he
I think
black?
that's funny. No, he's just like a white guy, but We tease him and tell people he can't swim when he's like not in the pool. But that's not a good lie though.
You retract that lie.
Yeah, I had a good one.
I told it. It's not the one I
I
wanted.
had a good one that I can't remember now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you?
No. I interrupted myself. Oh, I do lie when people ask me to do their shows and I don't want to do them. Those are some of my favorite lies.
Yeah.
But they also make me feel bad because I should do every show, but sometimes I really don't want to do a show, and I'll make up a lie.
What was the most recent lie that you made up to not do a show?
Dude, they're like the whitest little lies. Like I was like, I have to do the podcast, or like I'm already booked or something. You know, they're like stupid lies.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, they keep asking me to do the roast battle, and I'm like, I keep coming up with different lies to be like, I can't do it. And I hope they don't watch this to find out that I've been lying. But I just really hate writing all those roast jokes.
Yeah.
That's a point of stress. That's what I get most nervous for those, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Those fuck me up.
That is like that is
so
a currently in
autistic.
rotation lie.
Yeah.
What was I think it's
Very
the first one of those.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
which?
Like the not want to the decline in the roast battles.
Oh, yeah, I
And
do
lying
that
about
like
it?
consistently.
Yeah.
Like every week I come up with a new one, and they're like, you do this date 3 months in the future, and I'm like, nah man, I'm sorry, I got something to do January that week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'm just honest Abe. I
Yeah?
can never tell a lie.
It sounds like you tell a lot of lies, at least one a
Yeah,
week.
True. True.
What are you
True.
talking about?
What else have I lied about?
Dude, here's my favorite part of this of having you on this podcast is the contrast of like how you see yourself and how you're willing to admit that you actually are, right? So like so there is honesty there, right? But there's these two Shawn Gardinis. There's the one who all he did was cut a guy off and then drove home. And then there's the other one who was like, well, yeah, I laughed in his face and told him he looked stupid for 15
true.
minutes. Those are two very contrasting, Shawn Gardinis in one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. One is honest Abe and one loves to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it caused trouble.
He's like,
Those doors.
yeah, I know, dude. It's like we almost have to like channel like the dark Shawn Gardini and like just talk to that guy for a minute, which
Yeah.
actually we kind of do on the Patreon if you have
Yeah.
time to stick around for the Patreon.
Of course.
Oh,
What
hell yeah.
I don't have anything to do. I'm gonna be beezer or helium and get drunk, I think.
You can lie to us.
No, that's the
You'd be
God's
like,
honest
oh no, I
truth.
can't do the Patreon. I gotta go.
I could have done that. I could be like, I'm booked on something else.
All right. So, oh boy, here we go, Shawn.
Is this important chakra?
No, I mean it's like
Is this the
actually
brain
kinda-
chakra? Is there a brain
Yeah,
one?
these are up in the brain. This is the third eye chakra
Yeah.
we're going to, and this is
no.
because so far, I mean, you've been squeaking them out.
Yeah, wait, what do you mean?
You've been squeaking out these chakras, getting them open. You've been getting them open.
I have a hard time opening up.
Yeah, but it's happened.
Yeah.
It's been happening.
Have I?
Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
I'm not gonna deny that you're a tough nut to crack, but you've been cracking. It's been happening,
Nice.
It's and that's
I have bad memory too.
yeah. But that's why I like.
If I wasn't stoned, I shouldn't have got high.
Yeah. We'll have you back one time.
No.
Yeah.
This is as good as you're gonna get, honestly. If I wasn't stoned, I'd probably be more nervous and fucking not chatty.
Yeah, but the cool thing about having the different guests on to again answer the same exact questions is like the archetype of a person. Like you're expressing who you are as a person, and somebody listen, they might not be like you completely, but they have moments where Shawn Gardini comes out in them, right? And this gives them an opportunity to learn how to rein in their inner Shawn Gardini.
Yeah,
Right?
good luck, dude. I still haven't figured it out.
Yeah. You might want to check out Brian Six's episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you? Oh, you can't tell me you cracked the bees,
Dude, he was wide open.
Really?
He was like, you could just tell.
I
He
gotta
was like,
listen to that.
he's been waiting for people to ask him every single one of these questions.
True.
It's,
That's another lie I tell. I shouldn't say it because bees might hear this, but I have been telling people that the beezer doesn't know how to drive a car. Because I always give him rides wherever I'm in town, but just because he doesn't have a car. And he's always like hypercritical of my driving. He's always like, "You don't know how to drive in the city, dude. You don't know how to park. You don't know how to do this." And I'm like, "I'm pretty sure you don't know. Beezer doesn't know how to drive." So I've just been telling people that Beezer doesn't know how to drive a car.
That's funny. Shane can't parallel park.
Really?
Yeah, he might be able to now. Like that he's driving more.
Back in the day.
Nah, dude. When we were going into Philly together,
Did he try?
Oh, I
And you
feel
just
like I
can't?
remember
he
him
would-
tell me that he would ask you to do it for him, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you told me that.
yeah. It's fucking insane. It's like hilarious. All right, yeah, that was that you went back and you fully opened up that throat chakra. You were like, fuck that, nah, bees, you can't drive.
Yeah, that's a lie I've been telling. Well, that's a rumor.
Yeah, that's fun.
I guess
That's
it's a
fun.
lie too.
And now we're getting up into that third eye chakra.
Nice. This
So-
is probably, I don't know what the chakra is, but I see a lot of memes and pictures of people sitting there with their third eye.
Yeah, this is
That's probably the most widely known chakra, right?
it is, and probably the most closed chakra.
Yeah, I can only imagine mine's shut.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's all
Let's
about
see.
your intuition, right? Like your connection to this, I don't know, the spirit side of things.
Bro, you don't gotta know, bro. Bro, that's perfect, bro.
Okay.
That's
Hell yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Spiritual, I guess.
so this one deals with I guess illusion. So I guess what the question is, it's like every week I'm like, I don't ask this question right as I'm asking the question, and so I'm gonna have to explain this 1,000 times. But two sides of the same coin, right?
Yeah.
That's how we coined it last week.
Yeah.
Two sides. So it's basically two sides of the same coin. So what is something that is people think is separate or appears separate, but you're learning are actually two sides of the same coin? It's like actually they're the same thing.
I'm not sure what you mean at all.
Okay.
I know what you mean
Okay.
by
I
two
thought I nailed
sides
it.
of the
I
same
nailed
I thought I
coin.
nailed it.
I know. What do you mean? What are the two sides though that we're talking
So
about?
we're talking about like two entities that are separate,
Right.
but over time you've realized they're actually the same.
Oh, interesting.
That was the way I asked everybody else, and they were like, "What the fuck do you mean?" And I came up with two sides of the same coin. They're like, "Okay, we get it." I opened up with two sides of the same coin with this guy. He's like, "What the fuck?"
To be fair, I probably wasn't paying close.
I should have just asked it like I normally ask it.
You would have
Yeah,
nailed
that
it.
made more
Yeah.
sense to me.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, I don't have an. I mean, what are other answers? Like,
I don't know. You want to phone or friend your sister real quick?
would she know?
She would probably know. Yeah.
Two things that I thought were different but are
Yeah,
more
so
similar than.
Give
you
him
know.
who's an example that somebody gave that you remember.
Oh, shoot.
I mean, because the example would always be like Republicans and Democrats, you know,
Oh,
like,
they're
but
the
they're
same.
actually like you know, especially when you're talking about the extreme ones, you know, on each side.
Oh, well, actually, me and Matt were talking about this the other day about how like, cause I'm really well, you know, I'm getting better at it, but I tend to be like self-loathing in a way, not in a harmful way, but I kind of lean more towards I'm the worst than I'm the best, because I hate when people are like, oh, I'm the best. And Matt kind of explained to me the other day that it's pretty much the same thing. Being like, oh, I'm the worst and oh, I'm the best. Both are harmful. And both come from that same like weird vain energy he was trying to explain.
Yeah, who were we talking to about when you have low self-esteem, you're really self-centered?
Mike
Because
Rainey.
Yeah,
That was Mike
that's what
Rainey's-
Mike was
Yeah.
saying. Matt was saying.
Yeah.
And, you know, he'd explain it way better than I can, obviously.
No, but
But
that's a great
something
answer.
that I realized recently is that like it's just as narcissistic to think that I'm the worst ever and everything, you know, everything's bad, you know.
Yeah.
Everything I do is bad compared to everything I do is good. Both are bad and
it
Yeah.
all feeds your ego, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Each one
Yeah,
centers
that's what
around
I'm
you.
getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying to stray from both. I never think I'm the best. I see people do that, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Which is why, for a while, I was like, I'm not shit. I'm crap. And stuff, you know, like just
Yeah.
like, you know, beating myself up because I don't want to seem cocky.
It's-
But you know,
yeah.
there's a way to not do either, which you know I'm starting to figure out. I'm just trying to be more quiet lately.
Yeah. Or just be honest.
Well, I'm pretty
Right.
quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, people think from the outside looking in that I'm the best type of guy, but what I
I
am.
wouldn't say that, but I guess
Well, you
I
know
you
me.
a
You're
little
not on
bit.
the
Yeah,
outside
true.
looking in, right? So, I think if you're close enough to me, you realize that it's like, no, I just enjoy being good at things.
Yeah.
Like you can also be good at things too, but that's not going to take away from the enjoyment that I get out of being good at the same thing, right? Let's all be good at stuff together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
fun. Let's help
Yeah.
each other get better.
Yeah.
That's the thing you don't see very often.
Yeah.
It makes me sick.
It creeps
dude.
people out.
The ego lately has been driving me crazy, especially in the comedy world.
Yeah.
Witnessing some of these egos makes me sick to my stomach, dude.
Like, who are you talking about? No, I'm just kidding.
I just can't. I can't. I
Just
wish
kidding.
I
I
could,
wouldn't-
but I can't.
No, I wouldn't do this. That's not what this podcast is about.
Yeah, I don't want to. I'd
Yeah.
have to apologize. My
Yeah, you
chakra
have to go
would
back to
close up
number
again.
2.
Yeah.
That would be the first. If somebody had to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good answer though. I like that.
Yeah, well, that's all. I
Yeah.
just stole it from Matt. Me and Matt and I were talking about it. We were talking about ego in the car one day.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. That wasn't his answer when he was on, so
Yeah.
Nice.
he's not using it.
Nice.
He wasn't using that answer.
I used it, Matt.
All right, so this is the last question. This is
Oh,
the
nice.
last chakra. This is your crown. This is the top of the head chakra. This is your attachment to a higher consciousness. You're
Oh, shit.
almost there,
I would love to be there, dude.
dude. I would love for you to be there.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so Shawn, what is one thing you can't give up and why? And it's a 2-part question. That was only the first part, even though it sounds like a 2-part question already. The second part of the question is, what would giving that up mean for you?
Well, this is interesting because I have a lot of vices, as you know. Like I smoke cigarettes. That's something I probably won't be able to give up unless, I try really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really think about giving it up, honestly. People tell me to all the time, and I don't listen at all. So, what was the second part? I can't give that up because I'm I'm chemically addicted to this substance.
And then what would giving that up mean for you?
Giving that up would probably be, it would mean that I'm focusing more on my health, which is probably something I should do eventually. But right now I feel invincible, dude.
I mean, that's perfect.
I'm young and I eat chicken parm and smoke cigarettes all day.
Yeah. Dude, you're like right on track. You're right on track.
Yeah.
You don't have to start worrying about that shit until you're like 33.
Yeah, that's my plan. Well, that's my plan now. It's like
Yeah.
when I get a little older, I'll quit everything and start to focus. But I don't know if that's the right way to do it. But
Yeah.
also that leads back to me not thinking about anything, kind of just doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like what's on the top of my mind, I just do. Whether that be smoke cigarettes or do comedy, edit videos.
So, question, what is one thing you can't give up and why? Cigarettes. What would that mean to you? It means I'm not doing whatever the fuck I want to do.
It's true. Yeah, that's pretty much what I just said.
That's a gangster answer.
It
Yeah,
is, right?
That's what I mean. Yeah, I like to do exactly what I like to do.
Take that, universe.
Yeah.
But also, I'm trying to think of like a better answer because that's the one that came to my head because I'm addicted to cigarettes. What's something I couldn't give up? Do people usually say like things that they like a lot that are like beneficial to them?
This goes all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
like right when you think you have an idea what a person might say,
Yeah.
they like throw you through a curveball and you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
that was fucking out. And you know what I mean? It's
Interesting.
yeah.
Well, then the other thing would be comedy, on like a more like activity, not like a vice, just like a thing that I choose to do and I'm not like addicted to.
Yeah.
Comedy is like the thing that I won't stop doing. At least I don't have any plan to.
All right, and what would giving that up mean to you?
Oh, that'd be dark actually. At least for me right now, because that's like what all my goals are based on right now. So like that, if giving up comedy would mean like, I don't know, reframing everything that I'm working toward.
Yeah.
Just changing my life entirely, I guess, at this point. But also, like, it's not like I make a living off of it. I don't know. Yeah, giving up comedy would stink.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. But I also don't want to give up cigarettes. That would be good for me.
How closely related to comedy are cigarettes for
almost
you?
directly related.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I smoked for a while. Like when I was wrestling, I didn't, but like when we would go in the summertime, I would like smoke with my friends who did smoke, but I would never like buy them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a thing since I was like really young. Like smoking was always so cool. Like we would buy Black and Milds and just sit on the train tracks and smoke things, just like anything we could get our hands on.
Yeah.
So I did that for a while, and then like once I got to college, I was like 18. I just started smoking all the time, and I started doing comedy like 2 years later, and I started smoking even more because I didn't want to be inside watching the open mics. So I'd just sit outside, and it just led to me smoking a lot more than
When I was
Cigarettes do seem like a good excuse for that, to like get out of a place.
That's
like,
that's the only reason I did them, kind of. Well, I did them because everyone in my family smoked, and it was also like when you're adult, you smoke. I think that's how my brain was programmed, even though I fought it for a while when I was like trying to do sports. But then, once I started smoking weed all the time, then I just started smoking cigarettes too. And then I started doing comedy, and I started smoking way more cigarettes because I didn't want to. I don't like hanging out with everyone. I only like hang out with my friends, and in those situations, you have to hang out with
it's like
a bunch of people.
a cigarette is almost like a cell phone. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's like I gotta
something to
take
do.
this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I gotta smoke this.
Dude, it's the best. I can just leave anywhere. Otherwise, it's like, sorry, I have to leave this situation because I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
If you have a cigarette, you get to be like, I need to go someplace else to enjoy this.
Yeah, I have to go like 8 feet away and smoke this.
Yeah, I have to be away from you, but only because of the cigarette, not because I don't want to talk to you.
All right. Well, that was. How do you feel? Do you feel enlightened? That was all of it.
I feel good. I feel I'm going to make a damn ass of myself. I'm never serious on podcasts. I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever been serious on podcasts.
We didn't ask you to be serious.
I know.
We just
So I'm
asked you
not blaming
questions.
you guys.
Yeah, but that's like. I mean, well, that's the whole premise. I should have mentioned that early on. Is like the whole premise behind this podcast is to prove that people who have the type of sense of humor that you have, like a darker sense of humor, can still reach a higher consciousness or enlightenment. You know?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I've been trying to achieve it more lately,
Yeah.
but I don't know how to.
Well, we just fucking gave you an opportunity to.
Yeah.
That,
Well,
this
I
is
think
how,
I'm a little
this
closer.
Is, Two Jack Bros is how you do it, dude.
Yeah, I guess I feel a little closer. I talked about a bunch of shit
Yeah.
I haven't thought about in a while. I feel like that's a good step, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Also,
I hope
dude,
the fans enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm sure the fans enjoyed it. We had a good
That's
time.
also a big problem I have. Worry that I'm not interesting enough. Because I haven't had as much life experience as all these people that I'm hanging out with,
Yeah, but that's what's interesting about it. You proportionally have, because you've lived 100% of your life.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Just being younger makes me feel like, dumb sometimes. Surrounded by, all my friends.
Yeah. Because I
just in comedy, too. Like, everything I talk about is basically in reference to comedy.
yeah.
Like, all you guys have been doing it for, like, so much longer than me. Well, not so much longer, but you know what I mean. You guys are way more experienced than I am. And sometimes that makes me close up, I think.
Man, when I was young in comedy, and I was around like people that were older in comedy and like more talented, more experienced, like just the opportunity to be around them just was fun. I was just like open. I was open, I was sponging off of them.
Oh,
really
me
hard,
too. That's why I don't talk. That's why I just want to listen. I don't feel,
Yeah.
like I should talk.
I mean, but even then, you gotta talk so you
I
can
know.
learn how to talk with those.
I know.
those
That's the thing I'm
guys.
slowly figuring out.
Yeah, because I don't. So, because what I learned early on is like when you're around them, they want you to feel like you're in too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So is
And I do.
yeah,
But, still.
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't want to, I see a lot of young comics that act like dickheads, and, I think I don't want to be like them.
Yeah, but they're going outside of who they would naturally be if they were comfortable, right?
Sure.
They're trying to go hard to show that they're
to show,
cool. Like, hey, look, I'm fucking cool. I'm
that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah, yeah,
I
That's
just try to
absolutely
be
fair.
myself, I guess.
yeah. That's fair. So yeah, it was a good time,
Yeah, that was fun.
right?
I feel so vulnerable.
Yeah, you feel you're the first. You feel raw now.
Yeah, I feel raw.
So you're like you fucking came out of your shell,
Yeah.
And now in the Patreon, we're gonna fucking armor you up, dude.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So come check out the Patreon. $1 gets you all of the content. Sean, do you have anything you want to plug while you're here?
Nah, listen to the Mad Shanes. They don't need me to fucking plug them. That's the only thing I really do.
Yeah, the man Shane might notice the two Jack Bros bump now.
Yeah, you might, you're welcome, guys. And other than that, I don't do much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Check out my Instagram.
Oh yeah, what is that?
Shawn Gardini.
All right, nice.
If I do comedy shows, you can come see me there. If I'll post all the info on there.
Oh yeah, Sean is a great stand-up comedian, by the way.
Thanks.
Worth every second. That was fun. We're gonna hop into the Patreon. Thank you so much for listening. And I don't want to hear anybody arguing about whether or not he opened up any of those chakras. They're open, okay? You weren't in this room. They're open. All right, thank you so much.
Good night.
Good night.
She got you.